Hello Gemini, welcome to this reading. My name is Zane and we're going to be taking a look at the current energy for the sign of Gemini for the week of June 20th. Now Gemini, do keep in mind that this is a general reading, so take the messages as they resonate, drop the ones that do not, and also check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. All right, I do not offer personal readings and I will not send you a message on any platform, so do not get scammed. But let's go ahead and see what we have going on here for you, Gemini. Now I am using the Tarot Muka deck as well as the Angels and Ancestors Oracle deck. I will put a link to all of these decks in the description below. Let's go ahead and get the cards out here. Please do hit that like button and subscribe, as it really does help my channel grow in a big way. All right. That looks just about good enough to me. Go ahead and put this up here. And we'll also take 3 of these Oracle cards to clarify as we go along. All right, Gemini, so taking a look here, it seems like right now, some of you have been doing the soul work. Some of you have been taking time to rest and recover from a situation. And perhaps if it doesn't feel like rest, for some of you, you've been healing from a situation, okay? And I think that there's been something here recently that's been heavy on your mind. I think that there's something here recently where you've been let's just say going back and forth on something, maybe a little bit of anxiety, maybe a little bit of fear in sort of taking the first step or moving in a new direction. And I think that some of you have been successfully healing these feelings that you've been having recently. And as a result, there's something beautiful here coming in, specifically if you are single. Certainly there could be someone coming in here. If you're not single, there could be a really nice event coming up here in this summer. And you could see the seeds start to be sort of planted here during this week. But let's just go ahead and dive into that. So in the overall situation, you do have this Knight of Cups. So you can see here that this person is... It's a very interesting illustration of this Knight of Cups, but they're kind of really enjoying themselves, right? Same with this king, and this represents somebody sort of charging forward, offering their hand out in love to you. This could be the event that starts a relationship. This is definitely, in terms of somebody's love situation, this is somebody who you really think a lot about. It doesn't matter what gender they are. I just don't attach gender to my cards. But this is somebody you think a whole lot about. One way that the Knight of Cups is described is like as a knight in shining armor type of energy. It's somebody that you really sort of fantasize about in your mind, okay? And it's probably somebody that you already know when you get the Knight of Cups, in that you've probably already had a few conversations with them. You maybe even have gone out with them, or you have a friendship with them developing, or something along those lines, right? And so it's certainly a very good card in terms of movement for your love situation. The thing is, for me, I also try to bring in career and finance messages. And so in a career context, this could talk about, or a life context, this could talk about you starting a passion project or starting a creative project, doing something that you love to do. This is about love generally towards something in your life, whether that's a person or an event or a project. And so you could be starting something that you absolutely love to do. What I love here is, in the past, you have the 8 of Swords and the 4 of Swords. What I love here is that you have successfully taken a whole lot of time to heal some limiting thoughts and beliefs and behaviors here. You can see that this person is isolated. There's a castle behind them, but they are on their own. They are not enjoying the company of the people in the castle. They are not enjoying the riches and rewards of the castle, but instead they are isolated here. And the reason being is because they are sort of trapped in their mind. They're blindfolded. They can't see the way out of this imprisonment, But what's good is for the Eight of Swords is that it does say that there is a solution. There are solutions available with the Eight of Swords energy. It's just a matter of kind of working through whatever kind of blockage you are placing on yourself. Okay, whatever kind of mental blockage you are placing on yourself here. And we see you working through that blockage because you have the Four of Swords with it, which is the energy of healing. It's the energy of rest and recovery. You could also say that the Four of Swords represents healing from heartbreak. As you see the Three of Swords card above this person, Three of Swords, of course, is an energy of heartbreak, but we see you working through that here, okay? And so anything that was breaking your heart, whether it was a relationship that ended poorly, or a breakup, divorce, separation, or something in your life that just broke your heart here, this has been taking up your energy recently. And I think that you've taken a whole lot of steps in the right direction to heal that. Now, in the future, as a result, you have the King of Cups and the Emperor here in the future. So the King of Cups, you can see that this person's really enjoying themselves. A lot going on in this picture here. There's a wave crashing, there's a fish flying, there's a boat sort of kind of in sea, or on rocky waters here in the ocean. And this refers to, or this represents the fact that despite everything going on, this King of Cups person is able to remain calm and is able to sort of enjoy themselves in the face of upheaval, in the face of change, in the face of all of this stuff that's happening here. And so when you get the King of Cups, it says, have you taken the steps to create emotional mastery over a situation? Or, are you able to sort of remain calm in the midst of chaos? And that's what's going on here. So I really like that. Now, as a quality of a person, the King of Cups can represent a good partner in one's life. Doesn't matter what gender they are. Can represent a really good partner, somebody who can hear you but also listen to you when you talk to them. You have this here with the Emperor. The Emperor is a big omen of success in business. This is somebody who is extremely successful and well-to-do. It's always a good sign to see the Emperor in a business context. This is somebody who is kind of authoritative. This is somebody who really gets down to business and sticks to a healthy routine in order to really help themselves be successful in the workplace. So you have this healing situation here in the past. You have somebody coming in as a result of this, or you have an event coming in as a result of this, and it looks like you're composed and you're ready to take advantage of whatever is happening here in the future for yourself. So let's go ahead and move up the pyramid and get some more details here. So you have the Seven of Cups, you have the Page of Swords, you have the Virgo card, which is the Hermit card, and you have the Tower. Okay, so Gemini, there will be a situation here in the future for you that's going to feel chaotic, and this is okay. And the reason being is, first and foremost, that happens in life, right? It's not always, the path from point A to point B is not always a straight line, okay? Sometimes we have to go through upheavals and so forth and so on. But you have this, which is this Tower moment, is this chaotic event, but you have it here combined with the King of Cups, which I just talked about, your ability to stay calm in the midst of chaos, remember? And so there is a situation coming in forward here in the future that will feel a little bit chaotic, that will feel a little bit challenging. This could be an upheaval, but again, it's okay because you've proven here that you have emotional mastery over these situations with the King of Cups and the Emperor. Somebody who's sort of a stable leader, or somebody who's really authoritative and has a lot of stability in the way that they conduct themselves and the way that they act. And that's going to be very important for you, Gemini, here in the future to take on those qualities that you have. You have this Hermit card as well, which is another card of isolation, which is interesting. It's a little bit different. It's actually a lot different than the Eight of Swords isolation. This person's taking time to learn what they need to learn, grow in the situation that they need to grow in. And sometimes that requires you to be on your own a little bit. And that's really what the Hermit is about. It's creating self-mastery. Again, the Hermit and the King of Cups, creating self-mastery here in this situation. You have the Seven of Cups, Page of Swords. There's been just an event here in the past that was disappointing. There's been a challenging event here in the past that left you feeling confused. The Page of Swords can represent troubling news or disappointing news or news of delay. And I think that's probably the right definition here in the past because of the combination that we have here with the Seven of Cups and also seeing you heal something here with the Four of Swords. You can see that this person's really thinking. They're looking out to the future and really thinking about their future. The Page of Swords can talk about being a thoughtful person, but again, I think that there's been some sort of challenge here that's been placed in your hands here, and it's just taking the lessons you've learned here in the past and bringing them with you forward as you maybe deal with something challenging. Let's go ahead and take a look at these 3 oracle cards here. So you have Wise One, grow within your current situation. You have Eagle, see from a higher perspective. And you have Traveler, move in a new direction. So there's a huge message here of you having learned something from a tough situation or a challenging situation with this Wise One energy, grow within your current situation. And also just how we've been talking in this entire reading about you healing something important. Again, this is you really doing that. See from a higher perspective and move in a new direction. I do wonder, it's about this solution here. This Eight of Swords, there's a solution available, but it's a little bit hard to see when you're blindfolded, right? But it does say that there's a solution available, and this may require you to zoom out a little bit and have that eagle vision, right? Sort of perch up and kind of look into your situation, see it from a higher perspective here, and zoom out a little bit. So let's go ahead and see what we have here. So you have the Nine of Swords, you have the Queen of Pentacles, and you have the Justice card. Okay, so this is there is, the past here with this Nine of Swords, this is just another confirmation here that you've been a little bit fearful about where to go. It's almost like there's been something here that's confusing you with the Seven of Cups. There's something here with this Eight of Swords trapping your kind of mind space, and then the Nine of Swords is about fear. This person's kind of having a nightmare, and they are fearful about taking the next step. Okay, they're fearful about what might come next. But this whole message here is showing you that in the future, there is no need to be fearful about what is to come next for you here, Gemini, because you are, again, strong enough to be able to weather any storm. And we see that with the other cards showing up in the future. And I think it's finally closing the chapter on whatever happened here in the past. That's going to bring you some healing here in the present. Okay, you have the Queen of Pentacles as well, which is really somebody who's like financially independent. This is somebody who is kind of dependable in life, and this is somebody who's really kind of focused on building wealth, most importantly on their financial independence. There is some really good sort of boss energy here with the Emperor, King of Cups, and the Queen of Pentacles showing up here, and you have this combined with some type of happy event at the base of the pyramid. And so have no fear is what I feel like saying. You have the Justice card as well in the future. Justice card really says that you will get the outcome you deserve, okay? And so whatever happens. It's how you respond to what happens that is most important, especially in this reading. So let's go ahead and move up the pyramid. So you have, you have the Ten of Pentacles and you have the Death card. Transformations in your financial situation are happening here. I don't think they're bad. I think these are situations that are there's a transformation here coming, and again, it's whatever happens is what I feel like saying. The thing is, you have it combined with the Ten of Pentacles, which the Ten of Pentacles is a major card of abundance. And this illustrates why the Death card does not have to be doom and gloom. This illustrates why the Death card does not have to be a major challenge. The Death card is just about a change. It's just about a transformation. And there is something here coming in the future that is going to be a test of your patience and a test of your willpower. But I think ultimately this could bring good rewards into your life. As you have the 10 of Pentacles, that's a card of empires. Actually, so is the Emperor, okay? Somebody who likes to build their empire, and then you have that here with the Queen of Pentacles. And so I think it's how you respond to the coming change that's very important. At the top of the pyramid, you have the Devil card, okay? And so this is about, for you, this is about really working through the past situation here that we've talked about this entire time. This is about the past shadow that some of you are looking to bring out to the light and finally kind of confront. And, the Devil card asks you to just do the things that you need to do. And if there is something that you need to do, to not let it go on the back burner, okay? Again, it's the way that you respond to this coming change that's going to be very important. And again, I think this is potentially allowing you to move in a new direction if that's something you've been wanting. You also here have the King of Wands on the card, which is a very amazing card of entrepreneurship. It's also a very amazing card of following your passion and doing what you actually love for work and doing what you actually love in your career. And so you can see how this is not a doom and gloom scenario. This is you, I think, starting. And I think there's something about procrastination here, Gemini. I think that's the phrase that I have not brought in. So if you're still watching, this is definitely, I think, the crux of the issue. There's something here around procrastination. You have a very good idea. You have a very good sort of momentum in a new direction, but it's a matter of not being afraid of failing and just actually going for it. So excited to see what comes for you here, Gemini. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button, subscribe. Really appreciate you, and I will see you in the next reading.